Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today we will be talking about some rumors going on around possible casting choices for the upcoming Matt Reeves Batman. So for those that have not been in the loop, we've had an amazing film in Joker come out. And with all of the buzz around that film, with that film on the cusp of reaching $1 billion, no matter what people like John Campea say, it's very exciting times for the DC Universe, for DC Comics in the movies, and I would say even also for Matt Reeves' Batman, which is going to be the next major film, at least in my eyes. I'm not counting movies like Birds of Prey or the next Suicide Squad or any of those, because those really don't seem all that exciting to me personally. The next film that I'm excited for is Matt Reeves' Batman, because it seems like it's going to be the next really serious movie in the DC Universe. And it seems to be having and gaining a very talented cast, a very interesting concept, an interesting script based on the early leaks of what is potentially going to be the direction of this story as well, with it being more of a detective noir type film and many other things that we've been hearing about. It's very exciting times to be a DC fan. It's very exciting times to be a Batman fan. And this is yet another reason why to be excited. So there's now a new rumor going around that Matthew McConaughey, all right, himself is going to be Two-Face in the Batman. Now, remember, this is just a rumor. Nothing has been confirmed yet at this point, but this is being reported by the Daily Mail. Now, personally, I'm okay with this. The fact that he would be playing someone like a Harvey Dent type character, I think that he would pull off that role very well. He, to me, seems like, I mean, I hate to use kind of the obvious example, but he was in a movie called Lincoln Lawyer, and I think that he's done a very good job of being able to portray a lawyer, and I think that he would be a great job as a district attorney as well, and I think that it would really fit his personality. Add on top of that, obviously, the double nature of the Two-Face character. I think a character or an actor like Matthew McConaughey could actually pull it off. Now, back in the day, I think a lot of us would have been very skeptical of it, but after seeing films of his recently, especially films like The Dallas Buyers Club, which is an incredible performance. If you have not seen him in that movie, dear Lord, it is fantastic. And even films like Interstellar, where he has to really put on more of a dramatic performance, I think that he's been able to show that he has the chops. He has the ability to not just be the good-looking, all right, being in the rom-coms nonstop, right? He's shown that he can do drama, and I think that he would be able to not just do drama, but also would be able to put on a character as well in Two-Face. So this is actually exciting news for me. I know that some people are like, yeah, it's a rumor. I don't know how to feel about it because, I just only see him in this specific way, or I had someone else in mind for this character. And I agree with all of those assessments. I think that there is still some room for us to be concerned with him being able to portray this character. He's not like a Paul freaking Dano being cast as the Riddler, right? That's an actor who has been a character actor for a long time, who we could easily see portraying a role like that, especially since he has portrayed roles that are similar to what we suspect that a role like the Riddler is actually going to be. Matthew McConaughey is a little bit of a different story. As I said, though, I think that he has proven he can play a character like Harvey Dent. It's really the Two-Face aspect of it, again, when being the actual villain character, that is going to cause a little bit more debate among fans, debate among peoples and the audiences, and I think that it's a good debate and a valid debate to have. But I think a little bit more positively of it, I think that he has a very good chance of being very great at this role, not just because of the Harvey Dent side of it, but also I think that if you give someone like him a chance to play this type of role, to play a comic character, a comic book villain, that I think that he'll be able to step up to the plate. He stepped up to the plate previously. He's been able to show a lot of people that, hey, he's not just this all right dude. I know I keep saying it, but he's more than that. He's an actor. He can actually portray different characters in different ways and can be taken a little bit more seriously. And I think that would be true for him as Two-Face as well. We have some other casting news as well. One of which I think is likely to happen because it just makes sense to me and I want it to happen. And another one that I think might just be a rumor that's being floated around for the sake of being floated around. So that is, of course, Andy Serkis is in talks to play Alfred in the Batman, while Colin Farrell is up for the Penguin. Now, Colin Farrell, to me, would actually make a lot more sense in the Two-Face role. I think that Colin Farrell, if either Colin Farrell or Matthew McConaughey get that role, I actually would be okay with that because I think both of them would be able to, again, play that DA role of Harvey Dent, while also being given a chance to portray a different type of character and a different type of role. Now, of course, when we look to Colin Farrell, he has been in a comic film before. People maybe forget that he was Bullseye in that ill-fated version of Daredevil with Ben Affleck as that character. And even though we can be very critical of the role, being very critical of the film for a lot of very good reasons, I think that Colin Farrell has proven himself, especially with films after that, that he's a very talented guy, that he is a person that a lot of us could put a lot of trust in to portray to portray that role in a very good fashion. Now, as Penguin, though, that to me just does not make a whole lot of sense, especially if they're going to portray the character more like the comic and not so much a new interpretation of the role. Because if they were to go in a new interpretation of the role, I just don't think it would really work out as well. I'm supposing that someone could say, well, if we look at how the character is portrayed in Gotham, you could potentially have his character be more like that, where it doesn't have to be the large rotund person playing the role. And yeah, you can make that argument, but it would just, to me, I don't know, it would feel a little too weird having someone like a Colin Farrell in that role. Not so much for Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis, to me, would be a perfect Alfred. I mean, I love everything this guy does. For those that don't know him yet, if you look at his face, you hopefully can see the character of Gollum from Lord of the Rings in there, or even The Hobbit. This dude is great. He's also more recently played Caesar in the recent Planet of the Apes trilogy. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes, which were all three great films, and his performance as Caesar was amazing. In fact, it was so good that I was actually someone that was very strongly petitioning in my own way, because obviously my voice just doesn't matter nearly as much as others who vote in the Academy. I thought the guy should have gotten an Oscar nomination, at the very least an Oscar nomination for his portrayal, because he showed in all the behind-the-scenes stuff that most of the performance you see in the CGI face is coming directly from him. He has been able to innovate that kind of role. He has been able to innovate that for so many people and teach others how to do it. He has his own company dealing specifically with visual effects. And so I think that to see him in a live-action role as Alfred would be wonderful, because this dude is an actor. He is a great actor at that. Some of you might actually just know him from the Marvel films, playing the character Claw in Black Panther and other films too. And he's just really good. Again, he's a solid character actor, and I think that he has the look, he has the feel, and I think that he also has the chops to be able to do so as well. So this is actually coming here from a couple of different places. So The Wrap reported Tuesday that Serkis is in talks to play Bruce's loyal butler, guardian, and confidant, Alfred Pennyworth. If true, that would be a pretty big thing. And let me see where the other, so it looks like just as The Wrap was breaking the story around Andy Serkis, Deadline picked up with it with an addition to report Colin Farrell is now negotiating with Warner Brothers to play Oswald Cobblepot after Jonah Hill dropped out. So that was actually being reported by Deadline. So these are both pretty reliable sources. Again, The Wrap and also Deadline. Those are definitely not a, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of the one that, that's right, the crappy one, We Got This Covered. It's not a We Got This Covered, where they just throw a bunch of things at the wall and see what sticks. These are people that likely have insider sources. These are people that likely have, ears to the ground. And so even though they might not be right, because this is indeed still in rumor territory, it's still just being reported. And just because something is being reported doesn't mean that the person's actually going to sign on the dotted line. It is still an interesting concept nonetheless, because you're looking at a film that now has people like Robert Pattinson, also has people like Paul freaking Dano, which, again, I love. I think both those casting choices are pretty solid, especially after seeing Robert Pattinson in other films that are not of the Twilight variety. The dude is a very talented actor. But if it's going to be true that you're going to have Colin Farrell, Andy Serkis, and even maybe Matthew McConaughey in this movie, gotta tell you, I'm getting pretty excited for it. It's very rare these days that I get excited for a movie, because so much of the movie-going experience now has just been so much destroyed by giant corporations like Disney, which you hear me complain about a lot. But again, I think it's worth talking about constantly, and that's why it's so great to see films like Joker doing so well at the box office. It's great to see films like Dark Fate doing so poorly at the box office, because to me, it shows you that audiences are hungry for good, solid content with good writing and good acting. And if Batman can, at the very least, be respectful of the fans in the way of saying, hey, we're just going to make you a great film and do the very best that we can to do that and make it objectively good, I think you'll have a similar reaction to similar reaction to the Batman as you had for the Joker as well, because the Joker took itself seriously, and did not try to add in underlying identity politics-driven narratives and just said, we want to make a good movie about a character. Yeah, we might take some liberties with it, but we're going to do it hopefully for the betterment of the character and for the betterment of the film. And I and many other people think that they did just that by making a excellent rendition of the Joker and also an excellent film to boot. Hopefully we can get the same thing with Batman, get an excellent version of Batman and an excellent film to boot. And I think adding in actors like Andy Serkis definitely adds a level of seriousness to the overall product, which they already had with people like, as I said before, Paul freaking Dano. But having even someone like a Colin Farrell as as, you know, of all characters, Penguin, or Matthew McConaughey as Two-Face, I think really just goes to show that they are taking it seriously. They want to make it the best film possible, and they also want to have some star recognition because they want it to be successful. And to me, as long as you are doing the best you can to make a good film and you're trying to get some eyes on it, I'm okay with that. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think that Andy Serkis is going to play Alfred, or Colin Farrell is going to play Penguin, or even that Matthew McConaughey is going to be Two-Face? And also, if you do you like it? Are you a fan of this casting choice? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, smash that like button, give me a subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.